Mic is on. All right, all right. We are live and it's about to go down. Tonight, we are about to get directly into some serious fight scoring and prediction for all of our fans out here in social media.
Yes, we are. It is finally fight night. We're so glad that you guys are here with us. And the cool thing about it is we're going to go about this fight prediction a little bit differently.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to have this guy right here beside me go through the top 3 factors that he thinks and looks at when he handicaps fights. So we're going to walk you guys through that. And then you're going to have a chance to score along and win some really cool stuff.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a good time. So you ready to jump in?
It's big fight weekend. I'm ready to get it popping.
It's huge. It's been a long wait. It finally happens tonight. We got Gervonta Tank Davis going against Ryan Garcia.
Yes.
And I think the whole world is excited about this one. So we're glad that you're here with us. So without further ado, let's dive into our prediction show here on this special episode of The Fight Show.
Perfect.
All right.
So what we're going to do now is let us know before you get going. We will be asking you a couple of things to do now. First thing, we want you to make sure that you are prepared to take notes. And basically, you're going to be writing your scores inside of the boxes down in the comment boxes, right? And next thing we want you to do is let us know exactly where it is that you are rocking from, what city and state, and make sure if you're in a boxing gym or combat gym at all, shout them out down in the comment boxes, because this is just going to be an epic night that we want to have on the record for you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to get started. So let's start off with round 1.
Round 1.
All right. So when we talk about a fight prediction,
yes,
we must be aware of what we need to look out for.
Yes.
And so in your book,
yes,
what do you look for when it comes down to a fight matchup and fight night?
Fight night always brings a new wrinkle of what the coach has to pay closer attention to, because all of the days in the weeks prior, they kind of go out the window, and it brings its own temperature. You wake up on fight day, it's like nothing that some people have told you matter at all. So when you are out on that night, you got to kind of have your own playlist of what you check off the boxes on that day. First thing that I look for is the mood.
Okay.
First thing that you got to pay close attention to is not the way you feel at that moment, but where that mood will ebb and flow. So you have to have your day calendared out pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. So if Ryan Garcia is getting up that morning, he's got to make sure, no matter what you feel like, because the fight's 3 days away on the day of the fight. It's like it's a 72-hour day, not a 10-hour, 12-hour, 14 hours, because there's so many things that are running through your head. So first thing you got to think of is, how do I divvy up my day? And that's the biggest thing that most fighters don't realize. Even leaving from where you are, you have, when you get to the place that you are going to do this thing, that's when it really it becomes real.
Yeah.
All right, for lack of a better word, because your mind, so much goes through your head, you have to take naps, and you have to have good music, and you have to have people that can really bring the mood around. So if you woke up in kind of a bad mood, like I said, it's 3 days prior, because that's how long it goes. So it's all of the things that lead up to the fight. And pay close attention to fighters after the post-fight conversation. They always say, I woke up, I was feeling the way, but when I was on the way to the ring, my legs felt like lead.
Yep.
So
it always comes to light.
So all that stuff you saw at the weigh-in and all that stuff you saw at the press conference, that stuff goes out the window. So boom.
It's a brand new, it's a brand new starting line tonight.
Yeah.
So with that being said, one of the terms that we always hear in this sport is styles make fights.
Yes.
So when it comes to this particular fight tonight, because here's the thing, we know a lot of you guys are putting money down on this fight. So we're trying to give you some game.
Yes.
When it comes down to this particular fight, what should we keep in mind before we place that bet?
Well, you want to pay attention to what's going on with that athlete post when they get up, after they start posting. After, if you don't see anything from that athlete, there's a good chance that that person is dealing with some demons. So what you want to do is see who's feeling loose, who's feeling comfortable, who has their PR team doing the kind of things that need to be done. You have to give people kind of like a sneak peek inside of what's going on. So pay attention to the feeds, because, and I mean literally this, up until 4 or 5 hours before the fight, none of that stuff they talked, none of that vibration they put out there on social media, going back and forth on Twitter, going back and forth on Instagram and YouTube, none of that stuff means anything. I mean, your emotions about it are gone because you have so much weighing on what's going on now. You pull up to that arena, whether it's the Mandalay Bay or the MGM Grand, it does not matter, or the T-Mobile Arena. When you pull up, on the way, that ride there, that's when it starts to get real.
So once again, a brand new starting line.
Yes, brand new starting line. So that's why it's good to have people and coaches on your team with experiences.
Yes.
Those experiences, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So for those of you who did not see our show yesterday, we did a phenomenal fight matchup.
Yes.
And we dove really deep into experience versus experiences.
Yes.
So if you didn't watch that, you can see that down here below if you're on Facebook, or right here beside us here on YouTube. So that brings us to our third pillar that we want to talk about with this fight prediction.
Yes.
And that is kind of going back over what we spent a lot of time doing yesterday, is the corner.
The corner.
And the role the corner plays on fight night.
Yeah.
What do you know about each guy's corner?
So the biggest thing that you want to pay close attention to with the corner is making sure that you understand the experience level. So I did a great little short reel. So those of you who have not watched reels today, go back and watch. And I put a it's the kind of reel that'll make you change your bet. All right. The reality is there's been one component that no one's spoken about during this entire press conference and during this entire the post fight. I mean, the post press conference yesterday, the final press conference, excuse my French, the weigh-in, none of the pre-shows, no one's spoken to this. But go watch that reel. I won't be the spoiler. Go to the reels today and look at the one that says the one thing that people are overlooking that's going to be the component. And guess what? When I really dug deep and rewound the clock, it made me kind of lean my decision to the opposite direction. So that's what's so great about having the experiences.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you guys can check that out from yesterday. So that brings me, some of you guys may know.
Oh, I didn't say it. So the bottom line is experiences as a cornerman. That's what is the most necessary thing. All right. So
there you go. Thank you for bringing that back around. So I wanted to bring up a really interesting point. Some of you guys may know, and some may not know, that you spent a good period of time handicapping for ESPN.
Yes.
And so I remember when you would be doing this, there was a lot of work and research that went into it.
Yeah.
So tell us maybe some of the hacks that you used that could be helpful for everyone else tonight when you're looking at this fight and possibly placing your bets and having your own prediction.
When you're doing the bets, the difference is when I work for ESPN, the insider, what happens is they want their predictions on Tuesday. And a lot of time you got an up and coming fighter like an Inoue that you've never seen before. And these are matches that at times the guy hadn't developed the name or something. Right. So you have to really understand little details about boxing. Like, can this guy fight off his front foot and back foot? What does he do constantly? Is he a counter puncher naturally, or does he wait for it? So I always add those little components to my decision because I had to have it in by a particular time, like on Tuesday. And they always made sure that we got it in there. And so I had to do this with fighters I didn't know. And of course, the big fights, which were more. This fight here really is a little more tricky than you realize, because there are some components that Ryan Garcia is bringing that people are overlooking for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's causing people to make that unconscious choice. But the key thing is knowing certain particular skills and wrinkles that a fighter has when you're making a prediction. That's the most important thing. And I knew a lot of different things, and that's why we even had Iceman John Scully on that circuit, and my man Johnny Wiles of ESPN and Scott Van Pelt. But the reality is understanding boxing more. And that's what you can do off of our page. You can learn more about boxing, and it's really good to just kind of dive into the film studies where you get more in-depth insight. But yeah, just understanding the boxing game more, because if
to
you
know
don't,
how to watch a fight.
Yeah.
And I think for none of you, if you've never attended one of the film studies,
yeah,
it is an extraordinary experience
Absolutely.
that to be able to sit and go deep into film and
Mhm.
understand exactly what you're looking at
yes,
and how to watch a fight it's really super important. So
yes,
here's the cool thing.
yes,
We're getting ready to actually do some scoring.
yes. But before we get scoring, I'm going to give a couple of shout outs to some people. Marco Tamadia Arnaz, special shouts out to you. Make sure you let us know where you're watching
Please
from.
do.
My man Richard Molina, special shouts. Richard Marina is he's putting his predictions down. But wait now, Ronald Washington in the house. I see people dropping their predictions, but we're gonna do it different, guys. Michael Garnett, I see you. I see you. Joe Alvarez, you and Kendi Canelo. Look, we got a good mixed batch. It's more people pulling for Ryan down here in this comment boxes than I've heard the entire fight promo. Yeah, it's crazy. So let's get ready to dive in.
Yeah, so how we're going to score this thing is we're going to go, well, first of all, we got to say what's in it for you.
Yes,
right? So here's the thing. We're putting it on our shoulders. We're going to be checking all of the comments.
Yes, we're going to check all the comments. Now, would you like to break down exactly what the scoring is going to be, or should you hand in over to me?
I'm going to hand it over. I'll hand it over to you. We're going to make it super succinct.
Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in 4-round intervals, right? So you're going to go what you think right now. All right. What you think right now. And you're going to also have an opportunity to get a scoring sheet from the website after this feed is over. But what we're going to do is put down your first 4 rounds. We're going to give you 60 seconds to do your first 4 rounds. So how you score a fight is 10-9 in boxing. And everyone knows that the one who wins gets 10. So that's called a 10-point must system. And the one who does not win that round, 9. Now, if there's a knockdown, there's a point deducted. So it's a 10-8 round. 2 knockdowns, 10-7. 3 knockdowns, the fight should be over with the way these guys hit. But so think about, what do you really think is going to happen in round 1? And so write your 10-9, put either Garcia or Tank. So you can put 10-9 Tank, 10-9 Garcia, 10-9 Tank, 10-9 Garcia. So do that. The first 4 rounds, we're going to give you 60 seconds, and we'll talk while you try to figure it out. Take your phone, type it in the comment box, 10-9 Garcia, 10-9 Tank, 10-8 Garcia. If you have knockout, just write knockout on the round. And for those of you, once this is over, once this fight is over, whoever nails it wins a series of the Top Trainer U shirts, the School of Boxing.
We got some sweet swag.
Hold hands high, tuck your chin, elbows tight, bend your knees. You're going to get the series, Feed at 12 and 2 of our awesome shirts that the swag just don't go out. And you also win 1 year in the School of Boxing.
Yeah, you do.
On us. That's what it is. And we're going to put a monetary value on it of $100 for those of you who nail it across the board.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a value of over $1,500. It's just because we love you.
It's on
We
us.
just love you. So put down your first 4 rounds. Who wins each round? Or is it a KO in the third? If you nail it, you don't have to worry about anything. The only thing you have to make sure you do is you have to be subscribed so we can get you the information to get your dough and to get your gear. So make sure you subscribe after if you haven't already.
Right. And when he says subscribe to our
the
website, which is
masterboxingllc.com.
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 So subscribe to the website.
Okay, now that's the first 4 rounds. Make sure you got those rounds down. Now, rounds 5 through 8.
There you go.
All right, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put the scores for those rounds. And some of you may have, I saw someone having Ryan knocking Tank out in the 6th. So let me see. I know who that was.
I know there's been a lot of talk pre-fight and in the press conferences that the predictions have been a knockout by either guy in round 4.
Yeah.
So, and then some of the veteran guys have really see it going the distance. So it's going to be interesting. I think that's what's so intoxicating about this fight is it's got us all on the edge of our seat.
It's going to be
We're
great.
waiting to see exactly how this is going to play out.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the scores that you guys are dropping down here. And I see Larry Barker down. And Larry Barker, I see you drop that score. Tyrone Talton, fair. Let me see. Joe Alvarez. Let's see you get them scores down there. We got Richard Molina again. I see Richard Molina drop his 10 Davis. What? First 4 rounds. Next ones, I see Joe Alvarez. He's dropped his. Now we're going to go from the round 9 through 12.
This is the championship rounds.
So make sure the first 4 are the fill-out rounds. The second 4, that's when the fight starts. The third 4, that's the championship rounds. Believe me, this fight is just not going to be over as soon as it starts. I know you guys love who you love, but remember what I said. Everything that those guys had talked about, everything that they've said, all the disrespect they've shown on and off, that goes out the window today. Today is a totally different day. And for those of you who fought before, you already know. Or if you trained a fighter, you know that when you wake up on that Saturday morning, like Ice Cube said, today is a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an entirely different day. And that evening is an entirely different day. And that night is an entirely different day. It's like 3 days in one. So that's it.
Is there any more numbers?
Yeah, the numbers. I seen my guys dropping down. I seen Edwin Merced and Merced. I see Joe Alvarez is on it. He's on it. You know what, Joe? You're going to get yourself put into our school just because you were so efficient. We got Johnson William. Davis will win. Let's get the rounds. Make sure you get the rounds.
Be thorough.
We're doing this scoring. What we're getting you prepared for is because when you write down the scores, when the fight goes and when it's going on, your decision is a lot closer or a lot further than you realize. Because when you're watching the fight, you're getting caught up in it. Your emotions, your anxiety, who you're pulling for.
Yeah.
But we're teaching you how to not let your emotions be a part of this. We're showing you how true handicappers inside of the sport actually would have to go through and eliminate your bias, whoever you like, that has nothing to do with it. That does not give them enough power to win. You got to have your skill set, your experiences, and you got to have the understanding that it's levels to this. All right.
Yeah, that's true. So I was going to hold up right here. For those of you guys who are on our VIP list on our website, we're going to be sending out our boxing scorecard shortly after this broadcast.
Boom. So make sure if you don't have the subscription to the website, go up there and subscribe. That's absolutely free. So you can get your scorecard and then put this scorecard in front of you and make sure that you follow that thing top to bottom, all the way across. Just write your rounds down, who's winning as the fight's going on. And afterwards, if you screenshot it and put it here in the comment boxes, we're going to still give you something special, even if
Absolutely.
you win or lose. Just make sure you play the game, because we're going to show you exactly what goes down. And no further ado, you'll get to watch and come in on the film study that we do for this post fight.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I have a feeling there's
Yeah.
going to be a film study associated with this. So the interesting thing is
Styles makes fights.
Styles make fights.
Yeah. And if anyone can tell me down in the comment boxes what the style of each of these fighters is before I do it, it's going to be great, because I'm going to make sure it's clear. Styles make fights. And you got a pure boxer against a boxer puncher. A pure boxer puncher versus a boxer puncher. That's what makes this Gervonta Davis such a unique individual, because most pure boxers don't have power that way. The last one that there was like this was Sugar Ray Leonard, like float like a butterfly and sting like Tyson. And what makes Ryan a boxer puncher is because he doesn't use a lot of lateral movement, and he doesn't fight off his back foot. So that's the difference between the two. So with that being said, understand Styles make fights. They're both boxer punches, but of a different degree and pedigree. And both of these guys really can crack.
Yes, that's what I think. One thing is guaranteed: there are going to be a lot of hard punches thrown tonight.
If someone's going to need Tylenol tomorrow, I'm just going to say, and it might even be the cornermen if they keep jumping off the way they've been going back and forth.
It definitely got heated between not just the fighters yesterday. I'm sure most of you guys saw it. Even
Bernard Hopkins even trying to get into it a little bit with Tank. So it's been tricky.
All right. So how do you feel with this prediction?
I feel absolutely beautiful, and I think all of these guys now have the opportunity to really get involved and get vested and go deeper in boxing and master boxing.
Yeah,
will take you down that road where you really learn how to approach these things and even make money on the night of the fight.
That's right.
Through DraftKings.
That's right.
So we make sure that your experience in the sport of boxing is just going to be great. So we take the time to thank you for coming over here and spending time with us and allowing us to be your liaison in the fight game. So for those of you who are new to the channel, shame on you. Boy, you're late to the dance.
Yeah, we're glad that you're here. And I have to say, before we close it out, we have to say thank you to our sponsor of the Ring of Brotherhood.
Yes.
A fabulous organization doing amazing things for former fighters that are in tough situations.
Yes.
And we're behind them 200%. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about them. But we thank them for their sponsorship of the fight show this evening.
Point blank. Period, point blank, guys. Look, man, I see some comments down there. I can't wait to get going in this fight. Joe Alvarez looks like unanimously wants to be that guy tonight. And we also have Gaz Harper. He's dropped it down there. Gaz, thank you, man. I'm going to make sure that we get you guys taken care of. All of you are going to get a special gift. So if you have not subscribed, Master Boxing LLC. Make sure you check it out. Tonight is going to be a super fight. So make sure, if you're in the game at all, if you're just a fan, dive into it, enjoy it, get your scorecards and understand why we do this.
Yeah.
Understand why that makes it so much better. And then you tally it up, if they're going to have to tally it up, because, either way, this thing could go. But these guys are so ready. I just don't see it ending early.
Yes. But that being said, have all your snacks, have all your goodies close by. I don't think any of us are going to want to miss, a second of this.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
it's been great to have you guys here with us. Was there anything else we
wanted to say? I just wanted to thank everybody for dropping the comments, and we look forward to reading them and complying. Just make sure you subscribe. And then once we get going tonight, know that they're going to be a super post fight. It's going to be a crazy post fight, and at the exact same time, we're going to definitely put you guys on blast with that. After this fight, you will see a scheduled film study where we break down the X's and O's of what happened and who could have done what and who should have done this.
Yes. And I can't tell you how insightful it is for
Yeah.
the coaches and the trainers. So they learn just tremendous pearls of how to
Yeah.
handle situations.
Yeah.
It's incredible, these
Yeah.
film studies. So when you guys see, and we only let so many people in. So when you see that,
Yeah.
that link drop or that post drop, jump on it. It'll be one of the best things you've ever done. It's a ton of fun.
Yes, it will.
It's
I'm
a
just
ton of
saying.
fun. It is fun. And I'm trying to say, it's right now, it's right at 6 o'clock.
You're
Our
getting ready.
team is on schedule. In the
Yeah.
next 30 minutes, they're going to be firing out the email to everyone that subscribed to get your scorecards so you can have fun. Feel free to copy them, pass it around your fight party tonight, get everybody involved. It'll be a great time. So
Yes,
we're
buddy.
looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to hitting you up with the swag. We're looking forward to dropping you into school at the same time. Make sure you enjoy the fights tonight. Special shouts out to all of you guys. You're rocking. You are the best. And all to my brothers from the School of Boxing, Top Trainer, we are about that life, man.
That's right.
So long, and I'll see you next time. Special shouts out to those guys who fighting tonight. You guys enjoy yourself. Don't party too hard. Enjoy the super fight. Peace. All right. Good stuff.